Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Mystery Box Function Challenge. In this purple mystery box, there's some math, and your job is to figure out what that math is by putting numbers into the top and seeing how they're transformed when they come out the bottom. So we'll keep track of your ins and outs in this chart, and we'll even graph those as points so you can see the shape that this math makes, and maybe that'll help you figure out what it is. There's a link in the description, and you can get to this page and just plug in as many numbers as you want until you think you've got the solution. Pause the video while you do that, then come on back and see if I come up with the same solution that you did. All right, here we go. Let's start with a 0. And we've got a -6. Okay, I'll put in a 1. Got a -3. Okay, so it could be a line with pretty steep slope, a slope of 3. It goes up 3 and over 1 there. Y-intercept of -6. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's as simple as that. Let's try 3. Oh, whoa, 21. Let's try 2. Maybe that's on the graph. 2 is giving us 6, so that is on the graph. But it's not where I expected it if this was going to be a line. So this went up 3 and over 1. So up 3 and over 1 would have put it right here, but that's not on the graph. So this looks like a curve. Let's try some negative values here. I have a hunch that this may be quadratic. Let's see if we get a sort of symmetrical thing about the y-axis here. Yeah, so -1 gives us -3, just like we had for a positive one. Let's put in -2. All right, so -2 gives us 6. So we are getting this symmetry. And what I'm thinking is that this is a parabola, but there are a couple of things being done to it. This is pretty narrow, so I think it's multiplied by something, and then it's pulled down these 6 units. So I think we're going to have something times x squared and then -6. That'd be my guess. So let's see if we can figure out what that would be. I mean, whatever times x squared doesn't matter when x is 0, right? So that's going to give us -6. If we put in a 1 and square it, so 1 squared, and then we subtract 6 from it, we would get -5. So what would we have to multiply this by to get a -3? Well, if we multiplied by 3, then that would be 3 minus 6 would be -3. Does that work for, let's say, a 2? So 3 times 2 squared minus 6, what would that be? 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12 minus 6. That would equal a +6. Aha! So I think this actually is a 3. Let's think of one more point we could put in here. What if we put in a 4? What would happen? So there would be 3 times 4 squared minus 6. And 4 squared is going to be 16. And 3 times 16 is 48. And then minus 6 would be 42. So if we put in a 4, we should get 42. Won't see it on the graph, but that's what we should get on our table. So let's try that. Put in a 4. And we got 42. Okay, I'm convinced that we've got the right function here. So this is f of x equals 3 times x squared minus 6. Boy, we're getting some tricky ones now. Let's go ahead and reveal this, see if we're right. Yep, 3x squared minus 6. And let's look at the graph of that. There's that nice narrow parabola drop down from the origin by 6 units. So this number that you multiply by the quadratic, the x squared, the bigger that is, the narrower this more kind of squeezed and narrow this parabola is going to get. If you multiply it by fractions like 1/2 or 1/3 or 1/4, it gets wider and wider. Well, how did that go? I think that was a tricky one. Did you figure out that this was a quadratic, and were you able to find the correct thing to multiply the x squared by? Let me know. Thanks, everybody.